Okay, I just wanted to talk a little bit while I had to take a drive somewhere. But anyway, I've got my dog here in the vehicle, so if you hear a dog barking and snarling and acting crazy, that's he does that every time a vehicle passes by. So anyway, several things that I wanted to talk about, but one of the main things I want to talk about is the whole, everybody that I see, this is what has really been bothering me lately. The people that I see in my life, in my community, in my, neighborhood, whatever, in my small town area. And I'm talking about people that are 50s, 60s, 70s, if they're even able to communicate in a coherent sentence at that point in their 70s, because most of the time, by the time they're in their 70s, they're already so far gone with Alzheimer's they can't even form a complete sentence anymore. But anyway, aside from that, people that I've known all my life and that, just that I've come in contact with, older than me, are children. Complete 100% children. They have no grasp on reality. They have no grasp on what's going on the government system, what it truly is, the whole power structure that we're under, that's sucking the life out of everybody. Because it's really coming down now. It's really showing its true colors. And majority of people still can't see it. They still cannot see that there's no left and right. If you come out and you say anything against the left, then the right's going to say, they're going to say, well, then you must be a Republican or a MAGA or whatever. But then if you come out and say, well, no, that's stupid too, then they're going to say, then you're a liberal, you're a donkey, whatever. It's so, no, I'm like, no. I don't believe in either party. I believe, which I know, that it's all a facade. It's all for show. The left, the right, it's two hands, what they say, two wings on the same bird, two fingers on the same hand. Whatever. It's all the same thing. And that's what I tell people. I say, look, it doesn't matter. Before we had Biden, we had Donald Trump. Before, Donald Trump was supposedly Republican. Well, before him, we had Obama for 8 years. He was supposedly Democrat. Okay? Well, before Obama, we had George Bush. For 8 years before that, he was supposedly Republican. But guess what? All these years that we've had Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, guess what? The ball keeps rolling in the same direction. It never slows down. It never backs up. It never takes never takes a detour. It never veers off that path of less freedom, more government. less freedom for the people, less money, less government, is always rolling in the path of more government, more control, less money, less freedom. You see? So it doesn't matter what actor is standing on stage in front of the camera reciting scripted lines, because they're all actors. It's all a movie. It's all a show. Everything. It don't matter what it is. It don't matter if it's Congress on there, getting up there reciting their theatrical stupidity. Oh my God. I mean, it is so obvious. I can't believe, and that's what really is amazing to me, is that these people, 40, 50, 60 years old, sit there every day, watch that stupid ass TV, and they believe that shit. They think that is really our power. They think that that's really, you hear my dog? They think that's really our government. Those demasculated, feminized men getting up there, they're all, have you noticed how they're all wanting to cry now too? See, that's all scripted. That's all. See, they have multi-tiered agendas rolling all at the same time. Because, see, they're doing the whole black-white thing, you know, they're giving more power roles to the black race. They're taking it away from the white male, giving it to, you know, I mean, whatever. It don't matter to me. I mean, all that is so not important. I mean, some people, their whole life depends on, oh, what, that's stupid, okay? We all need to get over all that, because the real thing is this. The real thing is good against evil, okay? It's us against them. The government means mental slavery. It means mind control. Okay? Ment means mind. Govern means control. In Latin. That's where it comes from. Mind control. And that's all it is. Mind control. They are the schools, I mean, everything. Why do you think they got rid of all the statues and stuff like that? Why do you think they built all the statues? We don't know what was there. You know, all these statues like in the southern Confederate states. All that. See, we don't know. They might have put all that crap up right around the beginning of the 1900s. That could have all been just a fake story too. See, we don't know. All we know are stories that we've been told by books, by documentaries, by some people claim that they knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that whatever. Okay, nobody we know actually witnessed anything. We don't know what happened. It's all been rewritten. You can look back. Norman Dodd did an interview. He was over the Reese Committee, and they did an audit of all the nonprofit organizations back in the early 1900s, of the J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller, all those nonprofit organizations that basically took over the education system, the history, and rewrote all that. You know, they also took over the health care, redid that so that way they could have more mind control over everyone with all the fluoride, teaching people, and I'm going to tell you something else about the whole healthcare thing, which I'm not going to get off on that too much, but one of the gatekeepers to getting people in the whole death system, on the death train, is dentists. They're the ones that's loading the mouth up full of mercury, aluminum, doing the fluoride, doing all these toxic treatments to kids when they're young, and they're all that is so. It's important at any age, but it's really important when they're young like that. And then what about whenever they used to come around to the schools and they would do the fluoride treatments, and you'd have to sit there and gargle with the toxic shit and then spit it out. I mean, I can't believe, I can't believe that I allowed my child to have any shot. I can't say that word. To have any shot as a child, which I stopped at 5 or 6 years old. But I just wish I hadn't have done any. And let me tell you, when he was born, he was premature. He was 32 weeks, so he was 8 weeks early. And I think all that was bullshit too. I shouldn't even went to a hospital. I should have had him at home naturally and waited it out till 40 weeks. Everything would have been fine. But anyway, I went to a doctor because I was follow the leader, and they said I had preeclampsia and blah blah blah, and that if I didn't do this, that I could die, the baby could die. Scared me into it. Okay. So they took him at 32 weeks. His lungs collapsed. Okay, they took him out. He was 6 pounds. He was big. He was crying. Everything was good. They was like, he's perfect. He's perfect. He's perfect. I was like, oh my God, are you serious? I was like, really, he is? They was like, yes, he's perfect. Well, then they come back out and they were like, well, his breathing is slowed down a little bit. We're going to have to put him on a little bit of oxygen, but don't worry. I was like, okay. See, what I didn't know is that when they go and they give them a shot, no matter if they're premature or not, they inject them with, I'm sure, like the vitamin K. And see, that has, and I don't know what else. Maybe the hepatitis B vaccine. I'm not sure which ones. But anyway, nurses have confirmed that they still inject newborn babies, even if they're premature. And they say they have to go get the ventilator ready because they know they're going to stop breathing or their breathing's going to slow down. Anyway, so that's exactly what happened. His breathing, they had to put him on a ventilator, life support, and all that kind of stuff. And it was all due because they give him those injections. So everything that happened to me, and I had to stay up there at the Ronald McDonald House for a month. My baby was put through all that traumatic experience. We didn't know if he was going to live or die. I mean, it was a terrible experience. Thank God. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that he did live and everything has been fine, because so many babies don't make it through. And see, think about all the families that has destroyed. That has destroyed women, destroyed men, destroyed marriages, it's destroyed families, all unnecessarily. If we would have just not messed with the hospital, not messed with the doctors, none of that would have happened. All these deaths, the hospital is a death center. That's all it is. I've always wondered why hospitals, whenever I get close to them, I've always felt this real dark, bad feeling, like just this overwhelming sense of death. And that's why. It's because so many people have been killed at hospitals and unnecessarily. And the whole cancer thing, oh my God, I can't stand how to sit back and see all these people. They go and they get, first of all, to get a mammogram, that's like getting one mammogram is like getting 200 x-rays. That's the amount of radiation you're getting. Okay, so automatically you're giving yourself cancer. Then So why do you even want to find out? Whenever they tell you, whenever they give you the diagnosis of the C word, automatically, if you didn't even have hardly anything, which we probably all have got something going on, but guess what? It don't fucking matter. A tumor is not going to kill you. The tumor is not the problem. A tumor is not the problem. A tumor is a symptom of a sick body. That's like, okay, if you keep sticking your finger on a burner and it keeps burning the shit out of you, and you keep getting a blister on your finger, if you go to the doctor and say, cut this blister off, or chemo this blister, cut it off, burn, take this blister off, let's try to get rid of this blister, is that going to get rid of the problem? No. The problem is that you keep sticking your finger on the damn burner. So taking the blister off is not going to solve the problem. It's the same thing with the tumor. Taking the tumor off, killing the tumor, is not going to solve the problem. It's just going to kill you too. The treatment is the killer. Cancer is not the killer. It's the treatment. 99.9% of the time. Sometimes if cancer is, if a tumor is pressing on a brainstem or obstructing an airway, yes, it could be deadly, and sometimes you could keep on toxifying your body so much that it just kills you, but it's not the tumor. The tumor is actually trying to keep you alive. The tumor is trying to save your life, is trying to keep all those toxins out of your bloodstream to keep you alive. When you go in and you get a biopsy done of that tumor, then that explodes all those toxins into your bloodstream. So after you get a biopsy done, you've already screwed up. Anyway, so see, that's another whole thing. Think about all the people, all the families, all the lives that's been destroyed by cancer treatment. Not cancer treatment. Because it's not the tumor that's the problem. It's the treatment that's killing people. Listen, dog. He's crazy. Same way with HIV. HIV doesn't exist. It's bullshit. Same way with the CV-19. Anyway, HIV is just a bogged up test that they give people that are completely healthy. Some people might be sick, who knows, because of living a bad lifestyle. But anyway, they give people this bogged up test. If it comes back positive, then they tell people they have HIV. Well, automatically people's going to get sick because they're so scared and there's so much fear instilled in people just from that word, okay? So then they throw them on treatment, AZT and all this bullshit, and then that kills them. And then they say they died of AIDS. Can you believe this? It ain't the HIV, it ain't the AIDS, it's the damn treatment, same way with the cancer. Then the people say, well, what about all the people in Africa? Well, let me tell you about the people in Africa. It didn't have no damn AIDS. You know what they had? They had tuberculosis. They had malnutrition. They had dehydration. They had poor drinking water. Had drinking water with all kind of bacteria and stuff in it that made them sick, that made them have diarrhea. They took all kinds of diseases that they had in Africa. Tuberculosis was one of them. Something sarcoma, whatever. Some cancers that they had over here too. They took diarrhea. If you lost a certain amount of weight and had diarrhea and a dry cough, all kinds of little diseases, because disease is bullshit anyway. It's nothing but a group of symptoms. But anyway, they took all these different diseases and renamed them as AIDS. So yes, they had an AIDS epidemic because they just had a bunch of people that was sick from bad drinking water, not enough nutrition, and tuberculosis. That's it. It wasn't AIDS. It wasn't no sexually transmitted disease. Think about, man, I'm going to tell you, we have been so deceived. And the thing is, when you try to talk about this stuff, people think that you're crazy. They think that you're crazy. Well, if I'm crazy, I've got lots of everything like that say that it's the truth, that have basically, done all the work to confirm that it. Anyway, so our whole society are nothing but a bunch of babies running around, believing in Democrat and Republican, thinking that if we vote harder this time, we'll get the right person in there and it'll make a difference. And it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make a difference. The only thing it's going to do is buy them time to keep getting all their little ducks in a row. I think they've already got all their ducks in a row anyway. The thing is, what we need to do is, we have not consented to be under the Constitution anyway. We have not this is not consent, okay? The only type of organization, you're supposed to be able to consent to either participate or not to participate. So on each ballot, we need to get on the ballots, first thing, because this is something that could happen easy, is to opt out. We need to be able to opt out of the system if we want to. So that way we don't participate. We don't participate in the governmental system. But it's okay, we've got to have a way to either consent to participate in it or to not participate. And know that if we don't participate, then we don't get, we just figure it out. We've got to have we've got to do something. We've got to do something. Look at go check out Legal Man. He's a lawyer. He's been a lawyer. He's in Texas for over 30 years. He's sick of the whole system, and he tells everything just like it should be. Tells the truth. He hates the whole government system, says that it ain't nothing but a bunch of bullshit. He talks about jury nullification. Jury nullification is one of the biggest tools that the people don't realize that we have, that power, that you can be in the jury, and if you have someone in there that the law is just like a stupid law that you don't even believe that it should be a law, and that the person's being accused of, you could just say, jury nullification, that you don't believe that law should even be in place. So they would be. Anyway, we need to look into these things. Check him. A Legal Man. He's got a podcast called The Quash, and he talks about all the steps that we could take to get us headed in the right direction. The easiest route that we could take right now in our legal system, that it wouldn't take any type of constitutional amendment or anything like that. It's just something that we could easily get started with. But anyway, that, and then also a guy named Kelby Smith, he does a thing called His Advocates, and he talks about becoming a state citizen. We've got to get out of being a citizen of the United States, because that is basically a slave. Just a slave. We're all slaves. That's what the 14th Amendment was. It was getting rid of any of the sovereign people and reducing everyone's classification to being just a little bit more than an indentured servant. Anyway, and that's called a citizen. We don't have rights. We're not protected by the Constitution. The Constitution only applied to the sovereigns. And we are not a sovereign if you are United States citizens. You are owned by the United States. That is what your Social Security number is for. That is why you sign up with a birth certificate at the hospital. See, the hospitals and all that kind of shit is all in on it. They make you think like you've got me. It's all this crap. And what they're doing is they're signing you up so that way they can take your birth certificate and put it up for... I just about run over a rabbit. Put it up for collateral at the Federal Reserve and get more money. Anyway, I know I'm rambling. I've been all over all kinds of topics and probably hadn't made much sense. But anyway, it's a lot of things that's been on my mind here lately that I've really been wanting to talk about, and I just keep putting it off. And so anyway, this is it. I did it. How long is that? 25 minutes. Okay. Alrighty. Bye-bye. Turn your TV off. Don't listen to that shit. It's all a bunch of actors pretending to be a governor, pretending to be a president, all that. It's just bullshit. Okay, bye.